Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at the science of photobiomodulation. You might know it as red light therapy. I'm sure you've seen these red light panels popping up everywhere, promising like younger looking skin pain relief. But we really want to get into like what the science actually says. We're going to separate the fact from the fiction here. And we're going to explore this incredible potential of photobiomodulation. Yeah. Especially when it comes to inflammation.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff.
Yeah. So we've got some great resources to help guide us today. We've got some info from MedWave Group. They're a leader in red light therapy technology. And we're also going to be looking at some research from the International Journal of Molecular Sciences. And they've got this fascinating review article that looks at how photobiomodulation could be a game changer for conditions like arthritis. So by the end of this deep dive, you're going to understand how red light therapy works at the cellular level, and really why it's generating so much excitement in the world of health and wellness.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are really interested in this.
Absolutely. So let's start with the elephant in the room. Inflammation. We all know what it feels like, right? You get a swollen ankle, you get a sore muscle. But what's really fascinating, and honestly a bit alarming, is that inflammation can be silently wreaking havoc throughout our bodies. Yeah. Even when we don't feel it. It's like a low-grade fire that's constantly simmering. And it's contributing to all sorts of health problems, like everything from arthritis to heart disease.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. Chronic inflammation is definitely a really widespread problem, and it really is a key driver in a lot of chronic diseases. What's exciting about photobiomodulation is that it offers a potential way to address this underlying issue in a way that's non-invasive and drug-free.
That's what has me so intrigued. So let's break it down. What is photobiomodulation and how does it work?
Okay, so in the simplest terms, photobiomodulation, or PBM, it uses specific wavelengths of red and near-infrared light to stimulate beneficial cellular processes. These wavelengths, they penetrate the skin, and then they interact with our cells. And this interaction triggers a cascade of positive effects.
Okay, so it's not just any light. It's specific wavelengths that our bodies respond to. And MedWave Group, they use 635 nanometers and 810 nanometers in their panels. So what's so special about those wavelengths?
So each wavelength has its own properties, and they penetrate to different depths. So the 635 nanometer red light, that's excellent for targeting surface level inflammation and boosting circulation. It's really great for promoting skin health and wound healing. Now the 810 nanometer near infrared light, that goes deeper, reaching muscles and joints, making it potentially really powerful for pain relief and deeper tissue healing.
So it's like having two tools in one, tackling inflammation at multiple levels. But I'm curious about the how. What's actually happening at the cellular level when this light hits our bodies?
Yeah, so that's where it gets really fascinating. So PBM works in a few key ways. First, it interacts with our mitochondria. Those are the tiny powerhouses within our cells that produce energy. And this interaction helps them produce more ATP, which is essentially the fuel our cells need to function.
So it's like giving our cells an energy boost.
Exactly. And that's not all. PBM also promotes the production of antioxidants, which are like tiny warriors in our cells that fight off damage caused by inflammation. So inflammation is essentially a state of oxidative stress, and antioxidants help neutralize that damage.
Okay, so it's boosting energy production.
Yeah.
And it's fighting off oxidative stress at the source. That makes a lot of sense. But how does PBM actually reduce inflammation? I feel like we hear that term thrown around a lot. But what does it actually mean on a cellular level?
So inflammation is a complex process. It involves various signaling molecules called cytokines. Some cytokines, they amplify inflammation, while others help calm it down. What PBM does is it helps regulate these cytokines, and it encourages the production of the good ones that help dampen the inflammatory response.
This is like sending in peacekeepers to quell an uprising.
Exactly.
I love that. So it's not just masking symptoms, it's actually helping to rebalance the body's natural inflammatory response.
Precisely. And this is where the research on PBM and its potential to treat inflammatory conditions like arthritis becomes really compelling. The International Journal of Molecular Sciences article that we have highlights some fascinating findings.
Let's dive into that research, because arthritis is a condition that affects so many people, and inflammation plays a major role in its development and progression. So how is PBM showing promise in this area?
So the research is indicating that PBM can effectively regulate those key cytokines that we were talking about, specifically reducing the levels of pro-inflammatory ones like TNF-alpha, IL-1 beta, and IL-6.
Okay, and to translate that for our listeners who aren't scientists, what does that actually mean for someone with arthritis?
Well, by reducing the levels of these kind of troublemakers, PBM helps create a less hostile environment in the joints. which can then lead to a reduction in pain, swelling, and stiffness.
So it's not just a temporary fix, it's actually addressing the root cause of the problem.
Exactly. And that's what makes PBM so exciting. It's not a Band-Aid solution. It's about working with the body's natural healing mechanisms to promote long-term relief.
That makes a lot of sense. It's a much more holistic approach, and it aligns with what we were discussing earlier about PBM's ability to address inflammation at its root. I'm curious, are there any other areas where PBM is showing promise beyond arthritis?
Oh, absolutely. PBM research is exploding right now, and scientists are exploring its potential for a wide range of conditions, like we talked about wound healing. And the results there are actually really remarkable. PBM can accelerate wound closure, reduce scarring, and even help manage pain during the healing process.
That sounds incredible. I know from personal experience how frustrating it can be to deal with slow healing wounds.
Yeah, it can be really tough. And for people with chronic wounds, PBM could be a game changer. It offers this non-invasive, drug-free way to stimulate healing and improve quality of life.
So it's not just about pain relief and inflammation then. It's about promoting healing across a variety of tissues and systems.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating is that PBM's benefits extend beyond just the physical. There's growing evidence that it could even have positive effects on brain health and cognitive function.
Wow, that's really intriguing. So we're talking about potentially addressing conditions that affect millions of people.
Yeah, it's a really exciting area of research. Studies are suggesting that PBM can increase blood flow to the brain and improve mitochondrial function in brain cells, and even stimulate the production of neuroprotective factors.
So it's like giving our brains an energy boost and protecting them from damage. I'm seeing a theme here.
You're right. At its core, PBM is all about optimizing cellular function, whether we're talking about joints, skin muscles, or even the brain. It's helping our bodies heal and perform at their best.
This is all so fascinating, and it makes me wonder how this technology might evolve in the future. Like, what are some of the things that researchers are currently exploring?
Well, one area of focus is optimizing treatment protocols. Scientists are investigating different wavelengths, dosages, and treatment durations to fine-tune PBM's effectiveness for specific conditions. Another exciting area is developing new delivery methods, like wearable devices and targeted therapies that can deliver light to deeper tissues.
It sounds like the possibilities are truly endless. Before we move on, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the incredible work being done by companies like MedWave Group. They're really at the forefront of this field. And they're not just developing cutting-edge technology, they're also committed to rigorous scientific research to validate the benefits of PBM and bring it to a wider audience.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. MedWave Group's dedication to both innovation and scientific validation is commendable. They're playing a crucial role in advancing the field of photobiomodulation and helping people experience its transformative potential.
And speaking of transformative potential, I know we have some amazing real-world stories to share about how PBM is already making a difference in people's lives.
Yeah.
I think our listeners are really eager to hear about how red light therapy is actually impacting people's lives. So do you have any stories that really highlight the power of PBM?
Oh, absolutely. One of the areas where I've seen some incredible results is in sports medicine. There was a study where athletes used red light therapy before and after intense workouts.
Oh, wow. Athletes pushing their bodies to the limit. That's a great way to test the effectiveness of any therapy.
Yeah.
So what did the research show?
Well, the athletes who used red light therapy, they experienced significantly faster muscle recovery and reduced muscle soreness compared to those who didn't. So they were able to bounce back quicker and train harder, all thanks to the power of those red and near-infrared wavelengths.
That's impressive. I can imagine how valuable that would be for athletes at any level. From weekend warriors to professionals, nobody wants to be sidelined by pain and stiffness.
Exactly. And it's not just about recovery. The research also suggests that red light therapy could help improve athletic performance by boosting energy production and reducing inflammation, essentially helping athletes perform at their peak.
So it's a win-win. Faster recovery and potentially even better performance. I can see why athletes are getting excited about PBM. But let's move beyond the gym for a second and talk about another area where PBM is making a real difference: wound healing.
Yes, this is an area where the results have been really dramatic, whether we're talking about minor cuts and scrapes or more serious wounds. PBM can significantly accelerate the healing process.
So what is it about red light therapy that makes it so effective for wound healing?
Well, remember how we talked about PBM's ability to stimulate collagen production? Well, collagen is essential for wound repair. It provides structure and support to the new tissue that forms during healing.
So it's like giving those cells the building blocks they need to rebuild and repair that damaged area.
That's a great way to put it. And the research backs it up. Studies have shown that red light therapy can speed up wound closure, reduce scarring, and even help manage pain during the healing process.
That's incredible. It sounds like PBM could be a game changer for people recovering from surgery burns or even chronic wounds that have been resistant to other treatments.
Absolutely. And the fact that it's a non-invasive, drug-free option makes it a very attractive alternative or complement to traditional wound care methods.
It's really remarkable how versatile this therapy is. And speaking of versatility, we can't forget about the area that probably piqued a lot of our listeners' interest in the first place: skin health. Red light therapy has become incredibly popular in the beauty world. So is there science to back up those claims?
Absolutely. The same mechanisms that make PBM effective for wound healing also benefit the skin. Red light therapy can stimulate collagen production, which helps reduce wrinkles and improve skin elasticity. It can also reduce inflammation, which is beneficial for conditions like acne.
So it's not just about masking imperfections. It's about promoting true skin rejuvenation from within.
Exactly. And that's what sets red light therapy apart from many other skincare treatments. It's a holistic approach that addresses multiple aspects of skin health.
Well, this has been a truly eye-opening journey into the world of photobiomodulation. We've explored the science, the research, and the real-world stories that showcase its incredible potential.
Yeah, it's clear that photobiomodulation is a game changer. It offers a safe, natural, and effective way to address a wide range of health concerns, and the research continues to expand, revealing even more possibilities.
I'm personally very excited about the future of PBM and its potential to transform healthcare as we know it. So a huge thank you to MedWave Group for their pioneering work in this field. To learn more about their innovative red light therapy panels and the latest research, be sure to visit their website. And to all of you listening, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of photobiomodulation. We hope you found it as fascinating and informative as we did. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep shining a light on your health and well-being.